Nor should we, because there's no. There are a few interesting things. We are live.
Oh shit, we're live.
So, welcome to episode 284 of An American Werewolf. I am Michael Martin, the American Werewolf, and in the house tonight we've got Count Bilula. Something paranormal. Yes, that's exactly the way to describe it.
Paranormal.
And we've also got John K. Alvarez, Demons in My System. Yes, he's under spiritual attack, and his laptop, just won't let him do what he wants to do. So, it's weird.
I believe it's called being a bitch.
I'm always making, and I'm a fan of, some people are not, but I'm a fan of Jordan Peterson, and he's always got these recurring health problems. Yeah. And he's undergoing health problems right now, and his family is having these random health problems. They always seem to have a random health problem, like these different, fucking health problems. And I mentioned this because of spiritual attack. And somebody posted that he's got like a Ed and Lorraine Warren level of collection pertaining to like pagan artifacts.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm just like, man, those things, he's a collector and people send him things. And I'm like, man, those things are like infested with like demonic activity. I'm like, that's probably, all the problem. Get rid of that shit. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
And sticky finger markings from people not washing their hands.
Well, something. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess there's always that too. But get rid of that shit. Don't collect that shit. Don't keep it in your house.
I agree.
Throw it. Get yourself a nice fucking hefty bag. Throw that shit out and get some holy water from your local parish and give your house a little blessing and move on from there.
Absolutely.
Speaking of people who did not do that, we've got these fucking morons.
Yes.
As it's not your fault. It's my fault. I realized that last year we did ghost stories and haunted houses, and I repeated the theme again. And not that I expect anybody to fucking remember what we did a year ago, but we're repeating the same theme, and that brings us to Oren Pell's Paranormal Activity. If you guys are ready to go, well, we're going. So there are some remarkable things about this film that have really nothing to do with the story. This film was actually made for $15,000.
Yep.
Yes.
I think that that's really cool. I'm always, do it yourself. I looked it up. I looked up something the other day, like what are the odds of like getting your script as an unknown, sold, and it was like 1 in 5,000. So it's very difficult to make.
Right.
It made almost $200 million, over 200 million when it comes to physical media sales. 193 million at the box office. The guy's a software engineer, and he heard scary noises in his house. And he had just moved into it, and he decided that he was going to set up a camera to see if he could catch anything, probably just the house settling. It's a new house that he wasn't familiar with all the noises with, and never caught anything, but that gave him the idea for the film, and it was shot in 6 days. A camcorder, a consumer-grade camcorder. Friends as the crew. Friends as there was no script to speak of, just a general outline. You two are going to argue about the Ouija board today, argue about this or that today. You're going to get along in the beginning, this, that, or the other, and just kind of went from there.
Right.
Hold on a second. It says the Oren Peli is the director, rented a tiny LA theater for open auditions, asking folks to improv horror scenarios. Featherston, who won Best Actress at Screamfest for it, originally tried out for a different role and suggested making Katie an aspiring teacher for depth, because there certainly was depth in this story. Sloat beat out hundreds. Both were unknown, paid peanuts. The actress got only $500 for this.
Right.
$500. Fun twist. Ashley Palmer, who plays the possessed girl in the key video scene, first audition for Katie. DreamWorks, owned by Spielberg, passed on remaking it after screenings, opted to release the original. I think they threw in an additional $200,000 in there for some reshoots and an alternate ending, which is the one that I watched for this screening. Urban Myth says Spielberg watched test DVD at home, but his bedroom door locked mysteriously mid-viewing, freaking him out so bad he returned it. Haunted, Peli swears is true. Spielberg rep calls it exaggerated, but that sealed the deal for distribution. No big trailers. Audiences scream so loud they filmed the reactions for ads, a tactic later used for The Woman in Black, which is a fucking phenomenal ghost story with Daniel Radcliffe. Harry Potter. One of the best fucking ghost stories I've ever. That's fucking great. That's a great movie.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah. We do that one.
Huh?
Yeah, why didn't we do that one?
I try to pick things that people can have access to. I try to pick things that people, aren't going to spend money on. Every once in a while, I'll ask someone to spend the $5, but I try not to make a habit of it.
Right.
Six sequels. These are 6 movies. All of them successful and popular. This is a very successful franchise. Let's go with Count Bilula. Let's get your initial impressions of the film. Good, bad? Did you like it? I mean,
I like that movie. I saw it in the theaters way back in 2008 when it first came out. I was on vacation in New England and Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and the whole town was decked out in Halloween stuff, and it was the peak leaves changing era. So it had that Halloween feel when my wife and I went to go see it, and I just took it for what it was, a cheapo found footage film, which was all the rage at the time. Ever since the Blair Witch, there were found footage films popping up everywhere. And I remember, sort of enjoying it. It was a little slow. It was a little campy. It was bad acting, but I still have a nostalgia for it because it was actually a fun Halloween movie when we first saw it. Watching it again, though, it was a little bit of a plod because it does develop really, really slowly. And I thought the acting is just really, really bad, especially being such a fan of Blair Witch, which was amazingly done. And this is just sort of, okay, you did it for $15,000. I get it. It's a cheapo movie. It's it made a bunch of money. Okay. But I hadn't seen it in whatever it is, 12 years, 13 years. It was a little bit of a plod. So, it is what it is. It's a campy horror movie that sort of struck a chord and created a franchise.
All right. John K. Alvarez, what'd you think? Now, this is currently, John, I don't mean to cut you off. This is currently on Pluto TV. It's a good movie to watch for Halloween season. Here we are. If you're looking for something where you can turn the lights out, I would definitely advise you to turn the lights out watching this, because a lot of the scary things happen at night and are filmed almost exclusively in the bedroom. So, John, what did you think?
If I had to give a recommendation, I would say watch it with the lights out and the TV off. The reason was I first saw this.
Have you seen it before? Oh, you've seen it before. Okay.
Yeah, I first saw this when I heard that I'm a big Quentin Tarantino fan. Okay. Quentin Tarantino raved about this movie.
Huh.
And I watched the movie and I began to question my loyalty to Quentin Tarantino. The only reason why is I understand that they a lot of it was improvised and everything else. It to me was all cliches. I've seen all of it before, and I've seen it done better before.
Yeah.
The irony of it is I saw Paranormal Activity 2 because somebody wanted me to work on a ghost story script, and they're saying they made me sit down and watch it. I like Paranormal Activity 2 better than 1.
Yeah.
Because to me there was more construction and a little more. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Acting, was used. This is the reason why I wasn't a big. I thought it was a great idea. I thought when I first saw it, it was a great student film that was made. But what got me the most is that I'm like, I've seen all of this before.
Yeah.
And that's what I kept telling myself. The jump scares were there. I got to admit, when the guy came flying through the door, that's the one that got me the first time. But other than that, I'm like, I would have rather watched Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I would have rather watched. No, I was thinking about it, Michael, because I watched it again this afternoon. I sat there and I said, I remember when Michael and I did George C. Scott's The Changeling.
Oh, yeah. Now that's a fucking ghost story.
And I sat there and I went, that's like the simple thing with the ball bouncing down the steps.
Yeah.
Scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they had none of that. They were just, it just wasn't there for me.
They tried with the scene where the planchette from the Ouija board sort of moves by itself and it catches fire. And even when I first saw it, I was like, the studio made them put that in there. That wasn't in the original. It couldn't have been. It was a garbage scene. And
I think so too.
It made me laugh when I saw it the first time, and I was like, "Yeah, this movie. Okay, fine." It was like I said, it was great for the moment, but it's no kind of good movie.
We all remember the era of found footage. And it has peaks and valleys.
True.
And I think at the highest level, you get a film like The Blair Witch Project. Nobody had ever seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
I still remember going there and walking out, and everyone thought it was real. I'll never forget going to the theater and you could hear a pin drop. Everybody thought it was real. I still remember to this day. An usher was trying to escort someone who arrived late to get them into a seat. This was at the old Town 16, if anybody remembers that. And
there you go.
In Egg Harbor Township.
There.
And the usher, I'd never seen an usher do this before. He was escorting. I'd never seen an usher escort someone to a seat before, as many times as I'd been there, honest to God. And it was just too dark. And he turned on the flashlight, and like 10 people just yelled, "Turn that off!" We were so into it. And he went, "Shut up!" This was Pleasantville, so this guy just wasn't. He didn't give a fuck. He's like, "Shut up!" And that was it. You also had bangers like Cloverfield. which we've discussed here on the show. We've discussed both of those films, but there were also a lot of substitute teachers.
Yeah.
The first time you watch it, thinking back 16 years ago, you were like, okay, this is pretty fucking good. It's got some interesting things. I remember the first time I saw like time span move on the digital clock. I'm like, oh, that's fucked up. Where she's just standing there, like over him. The first I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I remember that being effective in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, or the first time you hear the demon scream. There's that scream that happens because it almost exclusively all the scary stuff occurs at night, and it occurs in the bedroom. So you're almost watching like the blue light from the camera through the lens of this video camera, where they're trying to record the paranormal activities for I'm not sure what purposes. Maybe I'm not sure. Looking at it 16 years later, it just doesn't hold up very well.
No.
The jump scares aren't effective because you know where they all are. If you're watching this for the first time, you might find it effective. And for some reason, you've been living under a rock and you've never seen Paranormal Activity. I'm not telling you not to watch it. I'm sitting here with the entire franchise on Blu-ray. Okay? Yeah. All I'm saying is in this viewing, it didn't hold up. We've also been covering, here 283 episodes of some of the top tier in horror. And then from the summer on, some of the top films in cinema. And like last week, we had covered a horror movie, the first horror movie in months, but it was Guillermo del Toro's The Devil's Backbone. And you just had a hell of a fucking story, man. Hell of a story. Here, there's really not much of a story.
Right.
And the characters are really unlikable, especially the Mika character, the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And so it sort of depends on the found footage shot. Except I agree with John in the sense that I remember the second one. I don't think I saw this in the theater, but the second one I saw in the theater. And what you were afraid of was just what was just outside the shot. Yeah. I remember that to this day, watching that, and I'm like, fuck, man, to hear it come, and and maybe it was there or maybe it wasn't. Here, it just, it was hard. I wanted to enjoy it. I picked it. I don't want to pick a movie I'm not going to enjoy. But I was disappointed. 16 years later, hadn't seen it in a really long time. It just didn't seem to cut the mustard.
Hate to say it, but it's a kind of movie that is going to thrill people who haven't been through as many films as us.
Yeah.
It's not made for cinephiles. It's a cheap thrills for 16-year-olds.
If you want to scare your girlfriend who's terrified of horror movies, this is one of those.
This is the one.
Yeah. I watched a review of it, and the guy was goofing on it, and he said, if you want to watch it, bring your girlfriend because she's going to be there like this.
Yeah.
I was like, damn right. That was
it is. Yeah, it is. That's the point. This is a, it's fun. It's not. It's far from the worst horror movie of all time.
True. That's true.
Because all you have to go is to go to the Average Horror Community YouTube channel, and they're covering with glee the worst horror movies of all time, and trying to convince you how great they are.
Plan 9 from outer space. That's all I got to say.
Maybe one day we'll get to Edward. I want to talk to you about that. Especially you two are here. I want to talk about the format of the of what we've got planned. I think you guys are going to enjoy it after Halloween. There's no story. The drop off was apparent coming off of Del Toro. There's no story to speak of. Again, it focuses on the camera shot. You've got a couple who are experiencing paranormal, goings on in their house. They think maybe it's haunted. And you've got this dickhead boyfriend who's actively trying to antagonize a demon. Yeah. He's not afraid of the demon. And I remember the entire time I watched this, I was like, why doesn't somebody just call a fucking priest?
That's what I was thinking too.
Brought in everyone but,
Yeah.
They brought in all these experts that didn't know shit. And the one guy's like, I can't help you, fuck.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it, but I can't help you.
Call a priest, have him bless the fucking house, and
Right.
I don't know, yeah. I mean, just I think the director is Jewish. You could have called a rabbi.
Yeah.
Call somebody.
Call Sam and Dean from Supernatural. I mean, get it over with, will you?
$15,000. It's not it's not made by people who know anything about going to church, dude. This is before the era of The Conjuring, and everyone went, "Holy shit, that shit's real! Call the Warrens."
Yeah,
I remember. I was talking about it to a friend of mine this afternoon, and he turned around and said, "I saw that movie," and he smiled. He said, "You know what? It was a great idea." And I went, "All right, I'll give you that. It was a great idea." But in putting it to action, some of it worked, some of it didn't.
Hey man, if I can make a movie for $15,000 that's going to make $200 million.
Clerks was a great idea. You go back and watch it; it's not all that good. You could pick it apart, like we're picking this apart. I think movies like that live on nostalgia of whatever 1994. It's the same thing. 2008, the era of found footage.
Oh yeah,
more nostalgic than
anything. And it was at its height then.
Yes.
I mean, it really was like peaking.
Every week there was another found
footage. Yeah.
And some of them are actually quite good that never got.
I agree.
Yeah. There are a few found footage movies that I've seen that I'm like, fuck, man, why didn't nobody ever? And they're on like Tubi now.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this just got relegated to, if you happen to look into it, and you know what you're looking for, or if you just happen to pick something one night. How about this on your iPad? Then
is there something that happened that sort of kicked those movies out of the mainstream, or was it just like a long, slow fade from 99?
I think people got burned. I think people got burned out. I think
it was a good 10 years. A good 10 years of that.
Well, like when the first and I don't want to like switch genres, but when the first Friday the 13th came out, first couple of them, even though they were slasher films, were pretty decent. And the first one genuinely scared the hell out of it.
Yeah.
As a 15, 16-year-old kid. But after a while, you just like, hey, here's another found footage. And I'm like, how many people are missing? When you find this stuff.
Yeah. Hold on a second here. That's an interesting question. And I just pulled it up on Grok, which is Elon's AI. It says the found footage era peaked from 2008 to 2014.
Really?
Driven by ultra-low budget films like Paranormal Activity and the Blair Witch Project. This was a quarter of the budget of the Blair Witch Project. So major causes. By 2015 to 2016, output plummeted from 50 found footage releases annually to under 10 by 2018. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I mean, that's a lot. Yeah.
So the causes: audience fatigue and oversaturation. Creative limitations and predictability. I won't go into all the details.
There's only so much you can do in that.
Streaming and market shifts. It says the rise of Hulu and Netflix favored polished VOD content over theatrical found footage. Physical media sales crashed, down 80% since 2018, hurting low budget models. COVID accelerated direct to streaming. Competition from superior horror subgenres. So we started to get Ryan, that guy who did Get Out. We got Hereditary.
Jordan Peele.
More Midsommar offers social commentary and visuals, outshining shaky cameras. And technological and production challenges. HD smartphones killed the amateur video illusion. Post 2015, films look too slick.
What was that first flick that was made on a smartphone?
I'm trying to remember it. I was just thinking that too. They've done a bunch of them now. They've done a bunch of them now on cell phones.
Hold on,
I can do the editing on the cell phone.
Hold on, I'll look it up. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, because
Olive, directed by Houman Khalili, was filmed using a Nokia N8.
Okay.
With a 12 megapixel Carl Zeiss camera adapted with a 35 millimeter lens for better field of depth. The movie stars child actress Ruby Alexander as the titular character, a mute girl who transforms the lives of those around her. Features Golden Globe winner Gina Rowlands in a supporting role. Okay.
I remember watching the TV show Dexter.
Sure.
They started doing that on Apple Pads, the iPads.
Oh,
sure.
You know, stuff like that to get, and only because, and they're right, the quality on some of these small handheld objects, you can't get that shaky camera feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking on this on my cell phone, and I can go like that, but you know, it's not.
John, what's happening?
Yeah, but that's the point. It's not the same.
No.
You don't have that distorted look to it.
No one's strapping their iPhone onto a plank of wood and running through a swamp like Sam Raimi did.
True.
No, that's not happening anymore. Oh shit! I just lost my train of thought. It was Spike Jonze. I remember Spike Jonze with an old iPhone making music videos.
Yep.
Making music, and I'm like, how the fuck is he? Like, he's holding it with his hand, you know, like making music videos, and you're like, that guy, you know. One, I mean, maybe I think there's a difference between having the idea and then being able to execute it, like having the ability to execute it. Because I could say, hey, let me make a music video. I've got a Pixel 9, way better than Spike Jonze's iPhone back then. That doesn't necessarily mean I can make a.
Right.
Maybe I can. I don't know until you try, but I think ability counts for a lot. You know,
you have to have a vision. Just having a nice camera or a convenient camera is not going to make you a great artist any more than, you know, a cheap Les Paul. You're not going to become Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Or even like we were talking about earlier, if you're a fan of this type genre or horror genre, I mean, again, going back to Tarantino, he said his best class he took was watching other people's work.
Yeah.
You know, so he knew what to look for.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have the good idea and you're with somebody saying, I can make that work, you know, and can prove it, you could probably make another low budget style horror movie that could like take over the world.
Yes. We were just talking last night in the texting group about Spike Lee. Who was making great films, extremely low budget in the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and I mean, they're bangers. You know, they're hard to watch sometimes. I have a problem with Spike because like and a lot of Spike Lee movies, especially the early stuff, like Do the Right Thing, like everybody's just so fucking unlikable. And for me personally, I don't like films like that. Like everybody's just a fucking cockbag. Yeah. And so, you know, that's kind of the point, I think. I hope. I've always hoped that was the point of that movie, that everybody's just an asshole. But, I mean...
I think that's how Spike Lee sees the world. Everyone in all his movies are assholes.
Except Denzel Washington.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Mo Better Blues, that was another one. Mo Better Blues that he did, and Denzel playing a jazz. That was so low budget, but it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, he just knew how to do the angles. He knew how to get the tone. Yeah, and let's be honest, he had Denzel Washington in the lead.
That's a guy with a vision.
Yeah.
That's a guy with a fucking
exactly.
Like he knows
he
exactly
pioneered that whole Steadicam thing where you have the point of view and everything in the background is shaky. That is his signature move.
His signature move.
Really leaned into it.
Well, he did it last night because I was watching Inside Man.
Yeah.
And we were talking
Good
about,
movie.
You know, that's kind of like he knew what he wanted. And so rather than, like, it was his love letter to Sidney Lumet's Dog Day Afternoon. So he said he made the whole cast, before they started filming, he sat everybody down and forced them all to watch Dog Day Afternoon. And he's
another good film.
That's what I want. That's what I want. You know, and he hires all the right people. Like he hires Denzel, of course. And I watched, there's like a 10-minute behind the scenes thing. And he's just like, I had to hire people for this because he's making a heist film. Nobody makes heist films anymore.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
You know? Yep. And he's just like, I had to hire people who weren't afraid of Denzel. Because I have that problem. He goes, sometimes, you know, and he goes, Denzel will just run you over. Like, it's not personal, but he will just steamroll you.
Yeah.
You know, in front of the camera. So who does he bring in? He brings in Christopher fucking Plummer. Like, Plummer's not afraid of anybody.
That's right.
Who does he bring in? He brings in Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster ain't afraid of nobody.
Yeah.
You know?
Go ahead, you bring it.
Yeah, who's he bringing? Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe ain't afraid of nobody.
That's right.
Who does he bring in? Clive Owen. You know, like
Yep.
Clive Owen in his heyday. You know, like Clive Owen ain't afraid of nobody. And so
I just played King Arthur. Who you kid?
everybody's just in there fucking going. That's a great fucking film. That's a great movie.
It's a great film and good actors, man. Just going at it.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen, fucking everybody's everybody's in there.
That's right.
Man, that's a great film. Stellan Skarsgård. It's fucking great.
Yep.
Wow. Yes.
Stellan Skarsgård is the Saxon King. Yeah.
Well, if you also look at the early films of Martin Scorsese.
Sure.
Of course.
You know, it's the same thing. He was doing a lot of they called it Gonzo style filming. They were just running on the streets and shooting.
Yeah.
You know, and getting it in. But he had same thing. He had that vision. He knew what he wanted, type deal. That's why I think with the Paranormal Activity, as they progressed, you had people who knew what they were doing. The first one was a great idea. And it really was. It was a great idea to make it work. It just had a hard time pulling it off.
I'm looking here, and it says, you know, I asked it to come up with the top 10 found footage films. And number one...
I'm looking at the same list.
The Blair Witch Project.
Of course.
Number 2, Paranormal Activity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I should say that this movie is, you know, under 90 minutes, which is helpful.
Yes.
Number 3 is Wreck. I would put Wreck over Paranormal Activity.
Cloverfield is number 2 or 3. I wouldn't put Paranormal Activity up on the top of that list.
Here's another one. Troll Hunter. Norwegian mockumentary satire, folk horror, Giants cult favorite at Sundance. By Andre Overdahl. Okay, so I like Overdahl. The Taking of Deborah Logan is number 5. The Taking of Deborah Logan is a good film.
Yes, it is.
Cloverfield is number 6. As Above, So Below. That's a really good fucking movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's filmed in the Parisian catacombs.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. The Visit by M. Night Shyamalan.
I remember that.
I forgot about that movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfriended. Unfriended is a really good one too. Yeah, it's about these 4 people that are on like a Zoom call. And then Grave Encounters. But Grave Encounters is rough to watch though.
I don't know if it counts as a found footage, but Late Night with the Devil. Did you ever see that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not found footage though. That's not found footage.
But they're like, you know, we uncovered this film episode, but that is a good one.
That's a good one. I remember seeing that in the theater. I went to Sayreville. It was like a remote fucking Regal theater that had it a week before Mays Landing did, and it was one of those places where you can't pick the seat. You know, nowadays if you buy a ticket, you can pick the seat. This was like the old days. You get what you get, you know, when you show up. And I got all the way in the back in the center. And it was like half full, which is good nowadays for a movie. And I remember when that first guy collapses and you hear the siren.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, this is a really good fucking movie. Yeah, Late Night with the Devil was a good fucking movie. David Dashmashian. I
remember seeing it in the movie theater down here, and as I'm sitting there, there's this older woman. I would say she was like about 70, 72. She walked up to me, her and her friend said, "Can we sit with you?" Because they got. I'm like, "Yeah, here you go, take a seat." Because they got scared at it, type deal. But that was such a great movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah, it was good.
And funny. There were some actually funny moments in that movie.
Yeah, it's an interesting look at some of the occult rumors about celebrity life. I guess,
absolutely.
If you want to, if you want to go down that rabbit hole. All right. I guess we could talk about the movie, but I mean, it's pretty generic. There's not much to talk about. Every night something, it just sort of builds, and then you get an ending. If you've seen it, and I assume, probably watching this that you have. If you haven't, go check it out. It's on Pluto TV.
Yeah.
Check it out, and it's worth for one view, first time view, absolutely worth it. Probably knock it out of the park for you. Watch it after that. All the spontaneity's kind of gone out of it because there's not a lot of it. Unlike the Blair Witch Project, which actually had a good story.
Yeah.
Where those people
still holds up. I can watch that one tonight.
Yeah,
I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same here.
That scene where he kicks when you find out Mikey's kicked the map into the river.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is just, you're like, fuck, man. I mean, you need a story. And so on the second viewing or more of this, you'll find that there really isn't any story to speak of. You're dependent on the jump scares. And since you know where they already are, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything about this film that you would like to discuss that we have not covered, Count Bilula?
Just saying, if you got to see it once.
Yeah.
Paramount spent $250,000 to film an ending for a $15,000 movie. You got to watch it.
Who doesn't have $250,000 just to throw at,
Absolutely.
Hey.
And it was still cheap as shit. That made its money back 100-fold, 200-fold. So
easy.
God bless it.
1,000-fold, 1,000 fucking fold. Jesus Christ. All right, John K. Alvarez, anything you want to add?
If you're going to watch this film, watch it in a trilogy format. This movie first, the second movie, The Changeling with George C. Scott, the third movie, Hell House.
Okay.
Roddy McDowell. Yeah.
And you will see the progression of how good the ghost stories can be. I mean, you'll see from good to better to me to one up in the upper echelon type deal.
All right. For me, there's nothing to add. What these gentlemen have said already works out just fine. Let's get to the part in the stream where we rate the film. This channel has a rating system that goes to 0 to 5 up by halves. So 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, all the way to 5. So 0, for example, would be I'd rather step in a pool of cat piss with my bare foot than watch this movie again. All the way to 5, which is this is the journey, this is the destination, this is why I watch films in the first place. Count Bilula, what is your numerical review for Oren Pell's Paranormal Activity?
Let me see. 3. I give it a 3. It's a fine B movie. It's worth seeing at least once. It's nowhere near a good film, but it's worth seeing once.
Mm-hmm.
All right. John K. Alvarez, what do you got?
Not going to argue with Count Bilula.
Nor should
3. I'm going to give it a 3.
Give it a 3.
Oh, wait, do the.
Yeah, don't.
No, I need all my fingers this week.
Yeah.
3, baby. Let's go 3.
3. Okay. I'm going to go with a 2.5.
Oh, special.
2.5. That's one of the lowest scores I can remember giving on this channel. Again, the viewing was just like I thought I was going to sit down and just be enraptured watching this film again. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that was my experience. So I've listed the reasons why. There's no point getting into it again. I do recommend at least one first time viewing for this. And again, like I said, I own all 6. So, I'm coming from that perspective. But if I do watch another one again, it won't be this one. And I've never actually seen the one. I think the last one is actually starring David Duchovny. So I'm going to have to.
Oh, there you go.
Check on that. Yeah. Duchovny doesn't do bad projects. So maybe I'll check that out.
That's definitely not the lowest rating I've given. So as far as the horror genre goes, I still stick with my 1 rating for Blade Trinity. because fuck that film.
Oh,
and I'll take every opportunity to say fuck that film.
I'm sorry, what film was that again, Bill?
Blade Trinity, fuck that film.
There you go.
Yeah.
Giving you another opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was another one that I watched again, and I always knew it didn't hold up like the other one. But when we there's a difference between watching a film, I think I found in my experience, and then watching it for this channel for like reviewing purposes. And I remember watching, I'm like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
This is bad. Like no wonder Wesley Snipes like stayed in his trailer the whole fucking movie. Like they really fucked him over in that movie. Holy shit.
The drop off was steep. The first two were brilliant, and the third one
yeah.
And I can rewatch the first one over and over and over again.
I can watch the second one.
Really same thing, over and over and over again.
Yeah, Del Toro. Yeah. All right. Count Billy, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, unfortunately, I got nothing to plug. We're woodshedding the band, the Soup Sandwich, and no gigs in sight right now. But soon, I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. John, you got anything for us?
I actually got two quick things. The next 2 weekends, on Friday and Saturday nights, at historic Cold Spring Village in Lower Township, we're turning the village into a haunted house, for lack of a better term. And they're giving me a bunch of students to turn the schoolhouse into a haunted schoolhouse.
Okay.
And all I'm thinking was, you fools.
What have you done?
So we're gonna have some fun doing Victorian Scarefest.
Okay.
It starts at 6:00 at night to like about 9:30, 10 at night type deal. So you can bring the kids. We're not gonna make it too bloody. Also, this weekend I'm having a family function.
Don't make it a Devil's Backbone setup, man.
No.
That took place in a school.
This weekend, we're having a family function that's bringing my eldest brother. For those of you who don't know, I'm the 9th out of 10 kids. My eldest brother, who I haven't seen since 2006, is coming in from Cincinnati. Okay. If there's any pictures of us, I will be sharing them.
Please
Just letting you know.
Please do. So tell everybody there I said hello. And
I will, man.
I hope you have a good time with that. It's a good thing.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. For this channel, we will be continuing another year of ghost stories and haunted houses. I think next year, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick, and I'm saying this now, so somebody please remember it because I did not. In that we did ghost stories and haunted houses last year. I think I'm going to do for Halloween horror movies that I wanted to like but didn't.
There you go.
Maybe I'll finally bite the bullet and we'll cover Stoker's Dracula.
There you go.
Or maybe we'll cover like Joe Johnston's The Wolfman, the Del Toro Wolfman. There's a few movies out there like that. Like I really want to like this movie and I own it. And I just did, and I watch it, and I'm like, no, this isn't going to work again, And something like Stoker's Dracula is something I've probably tried to watch, and I've watched it a couple times, but I've probably tried to watch it dozens of times, and I'm like, no, I can't. So maybe that'll be the point next year.
Hey, throw in Tom Cruise's Mummy. That'll cover 3 of them.
Oh, I don't know if it's got to be that bad.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Now, Eric said that he could not join us next Wednesday, but
right.
I still want to do Ringu next week, which is on Tubi, and that is a motherfucker of a story.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we'll try to work that on a Tuesday or a Thursday.
That works good for me.
Yeah, let's see if we can set it up with Eric, and then we'll be finishing out the rest of the month with Juan, which again is a motherfucker of a story, which increasingly I find out is vital to any film. Give me a story. Very few films can survive without a story. I can't think of too many off the top of my head that just sort of visually without a story. And this is a good example of that. Okay. Here's some announcements here for the channel. The Christmas movie. Christmas is almost upon us. Mariah Carey is almost thawed out.
There we go.
So she'll be haunting the airwaves, and your annoying office mate, it'll be blaring it on Spotify or something like that for everybody to have to suffer through, because these insufferable Christmas freaks that want to start, celebrating in like September, are just, waiting right around the corner. And they're like fucking muggers. This year, the Christmas film, we're not going to do a month of Christmas movies. I just don't have the energy for that. But we're going to do something really fun. We're going to do Jingle All the Way. I love that movie with Arnold, with Sinbad, with the late, great Phil Hartman, who is perhaps the ultimate Christmas jerk. In that movie. So we'll be covering that. That will be the Christmas movie.
Cool.
There'll be one movie, and that's it. Now,
perfect.
For the format of the channel, we've been doing what we've been doing all summer. And so we did a summer of Kurosawa, and then we looked at some noir films. And then before Halloween came along, we started even delving into some political satire with The Death of Stalin, which I still think is a fucking horror movie. Beria is going to fuck. That guy's just holy shit. Like I said, if I found out that Beria was one of the demons inside Emily Rose, like I wouldn't have been surprised. And Beria, because she had everybody else in there, so you might as well throw Beria in for shits and giggles. However, I do want to continue in that direction in terms of quality film. So it's very difficult to pick out individual films that way. This here and this there, and is it a noir over here or this over there or this, that, and the other. So the idea came to me that the easiest thing to do would be to pick directors. And so every month, and so I've mapped this out for the foreseeable future, for quite a ways in advance. Every month we will cover a different director. Across all spectrums, in terms of quality film. And so for that month, starting in November, we will pick a director and we'll do 3, maybe 4 films if we can get it in there. What I'm starting off with in November, I'm going to start off with Richard Linklater. Because I'm ready to talk about some Linklater. I've got a list of maybe 50 directors. All of them, most of them, everybody would know. You're like, oh, okay, hold on. Let me see if I can pull up some of the names that I came up with. But it's obvious. There's some obvious ones. Hold on here. Yeah, here we go. Fincher, Linklater, Tartakovsky, Ridley Scott, David Lean, Wes Anderson, Cronenberg, Nolan, Spielberg, Coppola, Billy Wilder, Wolfgang Peterson, Hitchcock,
there you go.
John Woo, Villeneuve, Paul Thomas Anderson. I mean, there's an endless list of fucking directors, and that just makes it simpler.
What? No, Ruin Johnson? Come on.
Who? What?
That's exactly who you should say. What you should say about Ruin Johnson.
No Ruin Johnson. No, absolutely no fucking Ruin Johnson. Although we will cover a month of Zack Snyder at some point.
Oh, there you go.
I have no problem talking about 300. I have no problem talking about Watchmen. I have no problem talking about Sucker Punch. I would love to cover maybe BVS. So, no problem whatsoever discussing those. So we're going to start off, I think, with Waking Life. We'll probably get to some Dazed and Confused, and kind of go forward from there, and see what we can pull together. So that will be the format for the foreseeable future for the show. So that, as they say, is that. So
very cool.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it myself. My thanks for your participation here, Count Billula, something paranormal. And my thanks to John K. Alvarez, who's got demons in his system. We will see you all in the next video. All right, take care, everyone. God bless you. Have a good.
Peace.
Bye, guys.